Welcome to the UNX Championship Series. I'm Ethan Swanson.
And I'm Chris Ganji, and we are back for our first open qualifier of the third round.
Right, we just got off our second major. We're more than halfway done with our season, and we're looking for those top 8 men, top 8 women to go to the championship event in February.
Yeah, and so that starts with the third major, and this is the first qualifier at Movement Lab LA.
Starting off on the West Coast, and we got some heavy hitters here. But, you know, we got to look at our standings because we're more than halfway through the season. This is the last round of qualifiers, the last major, to get in that top 8 spot.
Yeah, there's a lot on the line, so let's take a look at the women's leaderboard first. We're going to start at the top 2 spots, tied for first in points. Barclay Stockett, Maggie Owen clinched the championship.
Yep, they're the first 2 to earn their spot to the championship. But looking down the line, it's going to be amazing. I'm really excited, especially the point distribution. But here at Movement Lab, we have Olivia Colasanto, Chanel Morenas, Britney Durant, as well as a bunch of new faces that are trying to earn spots to that major.
Olivia Colasanto right now sitting in 5th place. She's in a good spot, but she is not guaranteed to that third major yet, so she needs to get in.
Right, and looking on the men's side, you know, I mean, we have Jake Murray, Donovan Toyer, Kyle Soderman sitting in those first 3 spots. It's going to be really exciting to see. Nobody's clinched on the men's side.
No one clinched on the men's side yet. The field is open, you know, so it's going to, these guys got to get back in. Caden Lebsack, Christian Yost, they're guaranteed back. Kyle Soderman, so we'll see them, but the rest of the field, they're going to have to punch their ticket.
That's right. And so looking at the competition format for our qualifiers, if you haven't seen a qualifier before, it's furthest to fastest, which means if you fall on an obstacle, it goes back to the last obstacle that you completed, LOC, and the time that you did so.
Yeah, and so competitors will only get 1 shot at running the course. Top 3 men and top 3 women will advance to the major.
Right, and taking a look, let's look at our women's field. We already talked about Olivia Colasanto, Chanel Morenas, that are sitting in great spots in our season standings. So right now they're going to try to improve on that, get back to the third major, and solidify their spot. We also have Britney Durant. She's a little bit further on the leaderboard, but she was at our first major. She's looking to go to the third one and return.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what she brings to the table today. But then looking over at the men's side of things, Rael is going to be competing here. And, you know, obviously whenever Adam's competing, he's definitely one of the favorites. Didn't make it into the second major, though.
He did not make it to the second major. He didn't even compete in the first round. And so right now, there actually is a chance that he would go to the third major and get to the championship, but it's very slim. Right now, he's just focused on this competition.
Yeah, focused on this, but then we've also got Karson Voiles coming over. We saw him host at Ninja Warehouse, put together an awesome course for us, but now he's going to be competing. Jesse Lucero also coming out. You know, stacked group of field on the men's side. Really excited for this one.
And then David Campbell and Darren Perez. David Campbell, I mean, you can't talk about Ninja without talking about David. And Darren Perez, international athlete, has been to the majors and looking to get back.
Well, Darren, he's on the season standings leaderboard. He's got a decent amount of points, and so if he can get his way back to the third major, he's got a shot at getting to the championship. So this is a huge competition for him.
Yeah, really pivotal moment here. But let's get right into it, starting with our first runner, Chad Flexington, also known as Ben Udi, stepping up to the starting line. And here we go.
Chad Flexington rocking the American gear.
Yep, he's got his own face on his shirt there. Making his way to the first obstacle, cleared onto that blue pad. And then here we go, the second obstacle, like a myriad of different holds, different ninja holds. You got to make your way up, across, down, and off to the side. Chad looking right at home here.
I like this as a second obstacle. It's just kind of a burner. Get your muscles going.
And boom, right to the third. And you can see, you know, one of our earlier runners is he's just making sure with the judges, hey, do I go here next? Yeah, Chad.
I mean, it's so hard to be the first, you know, competitor to run or in that, you know, top 5. Don't get to see a lot.
Yeah, and this is a really big move here. Just some nice. Tiny ledges, big up there. Looked really comfortable, and a big transfer here.
Oh, I really like this setup here.
Nicely done. Looking really comfortable. Now this is where it gets a little awkward, and he's going for a backwards dismount. Nice.
Nice. Gets the dismount now onto a balance obstacle here. I mean, one of the taller competitors, Flexington, no issue there on the balance.
No, that long stride really helping him out there. And now we have tilt bridges and a UFO here. and they're at angles, which makes it really unique. It's hard to get a really big swing on this first board because the grip changes when you swing back harder.
Yeah, and you've got to catch this UFO here. Got to get your hands right in the middle.
Perfectly done. And you can tell the UFO spins so smooth. It's hard to control your swing. And now just the dismount.
This is a really interesting bridge. The fact that it starts small and gets wider. I really like that obstacle.
Yeah. And Chad's right through it. Now, this is where it gets really, really tough because we have jump bar right here. You got to go across all the way to the top, and then there's a really long section of obstacles. There's a lot of time off your feet and only on your hands. This is going to be really tough. I think this is going to be a huge ninja killer right here.
Yeah, I mean, this is really going to show what ninjas are kind of working on their endurance and who might need some more work on that.
Well, Chad looking good.
Chad always looks good, let's be honest here.
And you got to get at least to the second to the last rung, so he's good. He's got one side up. He can move on. As long as you get one side of the salmon ladder on the second to last rungs, and that's a clear right there.
Now swinging from that trapeze to the wing nut.
Mm-hmm. And here we go. We have the flywheel right after this. Those ledges are really small. There's no in cut. This is going to be a really hard cut.
Oh, you could see how little purchase you get on your fingertips there.
It's tiny.
It's very tiny.
Really small. I mean, it's just a 2x4. It's an inch and a half, especially with all that weight. After doing the jump bar and the wing nut and all the stuff leading up to that point, that's really tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much in a row there, but a good run from Chad, and we'll see, how that run stacks up.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have Tej Harrington stepping up to the starting line. See how he does on this course. Another taller athlete.
Oh, a little stumble there.
Tried to connect right through those ropes.
Moving on to the ascending holds. He looks smooth and he's moving at a really good pace so far.
Yeah. And here we go. Just striding right on through, no problem. The third obstacle. We'll see how he does on the ledge launches right here. So such a big move up, and he makes it look so easy.
But now he's got to make the transfer.
I like that one kick, backswing, and go. Don't waste time on here because this is not an easy hold to hold on to. Just get on it, get off it.
I think the biggest part of that obstacle is just how much it's going to tax you for the rest of the course.
Yep. Right, because you get a little bit of break off your arms on that balance obstacle, and then you're right back on. From here on out, it's just upper body.
And now he's onto the tilt bridge. He's got to catch that UFO.
And you can see on the backswing.
Oh, and he just grabbed too far in the front of the UFO. Didn't get his hand centered.
That's the tough thing. The UFO, if you're not exactly on, it's going to be almost impossible unless you just pinch grip the crap out of it. I mean, it's so tough, and that's one of those just on it, and either you got it or you don't.
Yeah, if your hands aren't in the right spot, it's game over. There's really no saving that one.
That is tough. But now we have Janique LaVette, who stepped up to the starting line. This is actually her first UNX competition. I'm really excited to see her run. She's a proven veteran. She's so strong, and see what she can do out here.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Janique in so many competitions, just so strong. She has incredible lower body power.
Okay, such a smart move there. Using that reach, getting up to the third hold right away. She's looking confident.
Yeah, she looks really good right now. 30 seconds in, moving on to the ledge.
And here we go. I know I keep talking about it, but this first big move right here, as long as you touch that next hold, you get a point for completing the first part.
Oh, and she's got it.
Okay.
Oh, come on. This is going to be the hard part. Got to make the turn here.
Oh, you can tell she's trying to figure out how to turn around. Oh, man.
That turn is so difficult because as you're making the turn, you're relying on only one hand to hold on to that ledge, and that is not a lot to hold on to. So making that 180 turn is not easy.
Yep, I like to really twist my hips a lot in the beginning so that my hand just kind of go whoop really quick, and I think she was just trying to turn with her shoulders, which spent more time on those fingertips. That's tough to watch because you know she had a lot more in the tank.
Yeah, I mean, I think she had a lot more to go. It's just those fingertip style obstacles are just so challenging.
Well, next up, we have another women's competitor, Anna MacArthur, stepping up to the starting line. A local athlete, but I've heard good things. That looked really smooth right there. First obstacle.
Here, she's onto the ascending holds now. I like this, kind of crossing over, not matching on the holds.
Yeah, great job using her hips and her legs to generate that upward momentum every time she's making a move up.
Absolutely, right into the steps there.
Wow, she's flying here.
I mean, she's 25 seconds in, looking really good. Moving on to the ledge up.
And going right into it. Like I said, if you just touch that next red hold, you get a point for completing the first part of this.
Oh! Well, she gets the point locked in, so she ties Janique on there. Oh, and you can see she just didn't have quite the power to get up to that next ledge.
I mean, it looked like she got her fingertips on it, maybe another inch higher, and she would have been able to lock it in. But I think that's going to be a really pivotal move right there, determining who's going to be able to make it in our top three.
Yeah, and especially Anna, a shorter competitor, just need a little bit more. But up next, we've got Mike Raver stepping up to the starting line.
Yeah, a little out of his comfort zone, coming from the East Coast to the West Coast. See how he does out here.
Yeah, and coming off a big injury.
Yep. Well, here we go. And he's right on the course. But yeah, he hasn't really been training much. He actually got injured right before the second round qualifier on the East Coast last time and didn't compete. So this is his first UNX competition.
Mike wearing the Action Athletic shirt, trains there up in the Boston area.
What a great gym. That's like one of my favorite gyms.
I love that gym. So fun.
A lot of unique stuff there. So I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to stump him. Wow, that's pretty powerful right there. Especially after, like he said, not training for the last couple months.
Yeah, but we'll see how this obstacle affects his grip strength.
Well, I like what we saw there, not taking too many extra swings, pretty much getting on it, getting off it. He did take a little bit of an extra swing in the dismount there, but for some of Mike, when Mike is healthy, a lot of people don't know about Mike for some reason. I think he's a very underrated athlete. He's a monster.
Yeah, no, he's extremely strong. He's got a lot of power.
Here we go.
And we'll see what kind of accuracy he's got for this UFO.
Couple extra swings.
I really like the way that he popped his hips up. He caught it nice and high, elbows bent.
Just floated right up there.
Textbook.
That was really nice. But I am worried about those extra swings because he spent a lot of time on that obstacle. And like we said before, this obstacle section is so long. There's a lot of moves.
Yeah, this is where being efficient on the earlier part of the course is really going to pay off.
And you see him, he lifted the bar up to feel it a little bit. So smart. Because, you know, every salmon ladder feels a little different.
Oh, gets a little crooked. Oh! He went to hop up, gets a little bit crooked, and it just slides right out on him.
Yep. And he went up really high on the right side, left side stayed down, just got stuck, and that's it, unfortunately.
And I think that's a product, like you were just saying, every salmon ladder is different. It feels different. The counterweight system is different. So salmon ladder, just one of those obstacles. As an athlete, you want to do just reps over and over and over again just to get more and more comfortable.
Yeah, I honestly, like that's one of the ones where if you can go to other gyms and try different ones out, because that one in Movement Lab is really wide. And so if you're not used to wide salmon ladder, you might be used to being able to see both sides of the salmon ladder. I feel like there's a little bit more trust involved in knowing and keeping that bar exactly level. Because if you're off a little bit on a more narrow salmon ladder, it's not as big of a deal. When it's wider, now you're off a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot of explanation there.
But it's good analysis, and it's a good advice to just every gym you go to. If they have a salmon ladder, try it.
Well, somebody who's no stranger to that salmon ladder, Olivia Colasanto, stepping up to the starting line right now, and I'm so excited for her run.
I cannot wait for this run. Olivia, I mean, we've seen her perform so well here in UNX. You know, definitely one of the favorites today based on her past performances and what she's been able to do.
Well, she's sitting in 5th place in the season right now, and this is her home gym. Oh, look at that.
She looks so confident, so strong, locking off there on the way up.
I love watching her compete.
It's amazing. I mean, and every single time, the consistency alone is so impressive.
And here we go. You know, she's used to these cliffhangers, and home gym advantage goes actually a long way, and especially for somebody like Olivia, who probably would crush the course anyways, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Such a powerful move up there.
That didn't even look like it was that hard for her, and just one arm swinging through to that turnaround.
Here we go. Does she have the launch?
She's got it.
She's got
Yes. Now we got to get the dismount, though.
Being a little crooked on the swing, but looks good. And she's at about a minute here.
Yep, and we just slow it down. A minute? That's pretty fast.
Yeah, she's making really good time.
Wow.
And now what does she have for the tilt bridges?
I mean, she's putting together a pretty powerful run right now. I mean, already I think this is going to be hard to beat on the women's side. And here we go.
And she makes the catch in the UFO. Her hands were a little bit behind. They weren't quite centered. Still strong enough to make the catch. Unbelievable.
She's spending a lot of time locked off, especially on the UFO. And, you know, I got to imagine at this point she's going to clear this obstacle, but I'm already thinking about what's next.
Yeah, and she gets the clear there. But now, like you said, you got to be thinking about what's next. And here we go. This is a gauntlet right here.
This is a gauntlet. Well, she's at about 150. And it's a 4-minute time limit, so she's got a little over 2 minutes left.
Rest, Olivia.
Rest. Take your rest.
I mean, she looks like she's getting ready to go.
I like that, though. I like that. You're touching the, let's be like, I got the time. I have the time. Let's rest.
Well, whenever you rest in courses like this, it feels like an eternity.
Nice. She's across. Now she's got to go up quite a bit. 2 more rungs.
Come on, Olivia. Come on. Didn't quite get up. She had 2 more rungs to go. But honestly, just an unbelievable performance and another consistent, no mistake performance from Olivia.
Olivia Colasanto, man, she's really come out swinging at the UNX the entire season, and this is no exception here.
I mean, just if you haven't seen her compete yet, go back and watch her runs. They're incredible every single time.
Very impressive, and I think it's going to be really tough to beat. But right now, we have Katelyn Lanza stepping up to the starting line, trying to get one of those top 3 spots.
Katelyn Lanza move, going through the ropes.
She's a little high in that rope. Should be good.
Oh, gets her foot caught. That is not going to be good. Whenever that happens, it kills the momentum.
That was so unlucky. So unlucky.
I will say, I really like the commitment that she tried to go for the platform. You're on the first obstacle. You know you've got to move, and she went for it. She didn't say, I'm hung up here.
And it was close.
It was close, yeah.
It was close.
That's a really unfortunate for that back rope to catch your leg like that because it completely killed her swing.
Well, that comes down, in my mind, that comes down literally just being unlucky because that rope had to swing in the perfectly wrong way, foot had to be in the wrong position, and then it wrapped around and literally just stopped like half of her momentum.
Yeah, that's definitely an unfortunate ending to your run, but at the same time, I don't think you look at that performance and say I don't think you could be too disappointed.
Maybe keep your legs a little further out. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's just unlucky.
That's unlucky for sure. But next up, we have Noah Jones stepping up the starting line. We've seen Noah compete before, and it's always amazing. This little dude is so strong and confident on the course.
I mean, just look at that pullback. It's like he makes moves so confidently and so much power in his moves. I mean, we saw him at Traverse Fitness.
Yeah.
He looked great.
Everybody saw him at Traverse Fitness, man. Well, that's the thing about Noah is he's a great competitor, great athlete, but also when we're going through rules, he's looking at things going, not only do I have to do what everyone else is doing, but I also have to worry about how do I get to starting platforms? How do I get to the obstacle? Like this obstacle, those are much bigger jumps for him. And he just has to overcome it.
He does it no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, he tackles it no problem. And that's one of the things I love about watching this kid is it's like the height disadvantage it doesn't matter.
But I'm really worried about this transition here. Going up like that is already a really powerful, really tough, but for him, that reach is so big.
Yeah, definitely going to be a little bit of a disadvantage. I mean, he looks confident on the first ledge there.
Getting some sideways swing, a forward and back swing.
Come on, Noah.
I don't think that much swing is a good idea. All right, so he's got the point, but come on. You want to keep going. Side to side.
Oh,
yeah!
Yes!
It's not over. Come on.
Come on, Noah. I mean, that was a lot of energy there.
Come on, Noah. Oh, man. Well, he gets the point for touching that next hold, but what? That's so awesome with Noah. Watch him over and over. Can't get it, and breaks through and burning all that energy at the same time. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just adapting to the situation. The first thing wasn't working. Try to get the swing to pop up, and then he got the side-to-side swing, and that worked for him. And that's such a veteran move to come in and look at, hey, this isn't working. I'm on the obstacle. I got to figure something else out.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love watching Noah run, man. It's so exciting.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, next up we have Katelyn Lanza, and she is looking to get a top 3 spot right now. Only one woman getting past those cliffhangers. And her foot getting a little caught up too, but just decided to go for it. Worked out for her.
Yeah, it didn't quite wrap around as bad as Katelyn's run, but
yeah,
gets through, and it was a close dismount there. Looks a little timid here on these holds.
Yep.
Okay, there we go.
Good fix.
Come on, just get to this next one. And you could see her hips kind of spinning her around after each grab. That's going to take a lot of energy here. But here we go. Okay, now on the right track.
Good. Making her way through.
Move. Okay.
Good. And feet are allowed in that column, so she's all good. And clear. This is your chance to take a breath, you know?
Yeah, I think on those ascending holds, just the hip movement was kind of sending her in a circular motion. And makes the jump.
Okay, now she's through, and here we go. On to the ledge launch. And I think especially after the second obstacle, I like what we're doing here is just taking a break, getting some chalk, taking a breath, because this is a tough obstacle right here, and it's a lot of moves in one.
It's a lot on your forearms, on your fingers. So you want to be well rested for this.
For sure. We got this big move up.
Kind of trying to get up high.
It seemed like just couldn't figure out how to generate that upward motion. She was up really high, which I feel like isn't good. You don't have a lot of momentum to build to get up to the higher hold.
Yeah, I think just being up so high kind of limits the amount of power you can get to reach up to the next one.
Yep. If we're talking about power, Anton Fomenko is up next, and that dude is a powerhouse Russian athlete coming out to the United States and training in LA, training at Traverse Fitness, and this dude is amazing.
We've seen Anton compete before, hasn't quite put together a run to send him to the majors, so hopefully today he can make it happen.
He's very capable. Wow, just one arm in right through that.
Wow, gets around.
And that's what we see from Anton, is smart moves, shortcuts that other people don't see. We've seen it a lot from Anton, honestly.
I like that a lot. First person to do it. He's got the reach.
Really not worried right here with Anton. I mean, that's why. It's just, it looks easy for him.
Yeah, I mean, these ledges do not look like an issue right now.
And that's what I'm talking about, is he didn't even go to the backside because he knew I don't need to. One backswing and off. He just saved so much time and energy right there.
Gosh, I mean, this is an athlete I would love to see in isolation.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Because he's so creative, he's so strategic. We're seeing him make already a couple moves on some pretty standard obstacles that nobody's done yet.
Well, we'll see here if he has the precision to make this catch on the UFO. He's getting a huge swing here, and you could see if you get too much swing, it really is awkward for your hands because of the angle of the board.
I wonder if he was thinking about skipping the UFO.
It looked like he was lining up for it.
Nice.
A nice dismount. He's at about 1 minute and 30 seconds here.
He's grabbing his thumb there, looking at his thumb. I think on that first board when he swung back, it may have pushed his thumb back towards his wrist.
Yeah, well, it's a really awkward angle, that first board.
Here we go. I like this. Feeling out the bar, looking at the salmon ladder, because like we talked about, every salmon ladder is different.
Do you like?
I like that.
All right.
I like that the double up.
And then can he get up to the top here?
Hey,
yes, he's got it.
Wow.
2 moves there with a turn.
Mm-hmm. And that underbar, I love that underbar transfer.
And is he gonna swing through? Okay, no, he grabs the wing nut.
He might just swing right through.
There we
Look at
go.
that. That's nice.
And he has such a big reach here on to the flying
This is the
squirrel.
first person we've seen get to this point. Now we have another flywheel up here. Super
my
tiny
gosh.
holds. Come on. And this isn't a small move. Nice.
Yes.
And now we just got the dismount. He's got to get on or past that red pad onto that wall. Nicely done.
Smooth, and that obstacle, that line is so taxing.
Well, now you get a breather for a second, but he's got 1 minute and 10 seconds left. You can see him looking at his thumb. His thumb must be really bugging him after those unstable bridges, but he's got 1 minute left.
He is really looking at that thumb.
I don't like that because especially on this obstacle, you need your thumbs. This is all pinch strength. We got the hanging boards, followed by the curve wall. 40 seconds left. It's still enough time. I think he can do it. I'm really wondering about that thumb now.
This is the first time we've seen these hanging boards
30 seconds left
in this course, and we'll see. And you could see him got his. He's grabbing that thumb. That does not look good.
No, it does not. And, I got a chance to talk with him afterwards, and he said, it pulled back on his thumb like this when he was on that board, getting so much swing like he was trying. And he said he could just feel it through the rest of the course. And those boards, those hanging doors are really thick. You need to have some serious pinch strength on top of being that late in the course and having, potentially an injury at that point. It's just not doable.
Yeah, well, that was the first time we saw the hanging boards in this course, and so that's a great run from Anton there.
Mm-hmm.
Puts him in first place on the men's side. First
place, not too bad so far, but now we have Karson Voiles stepping up, and Carson's grip strength is through the roof. I'm really excited to watch this run.
Well, if Carson's course at Ninja Warehouse taught us anything, it's that this guy's a monster.
I think it's something we all knew before his course. But this is what we're going to see. We're going to see him getting through obstacles smooth and efficient, and I don't think we're going to see him rushing, trying to go blazing fast. I don't think that's Carson's way. It's like right now, hey, all right, line it up, boom, 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 get on and off. Okay, relax as you're going to the next obstacle. But once he's on the obstacles, it's business.
Yeah, and you can see him. I mean, he looks relaxed, and I really like to see that. As we've talked about in previous competitions, I mean, finishing one of these qualifier courses is usually enough to get you into the major.
Well, right now we've only seen one athlete get to the second to last obstacle. So, I mean, I guess we'll see how things keep going, but I think this run is going to tell us a lot.
Oh, and he goes to the 180 transfer. I like that a lot. Doesn't waste time making the turn.
Cliffhangers are literally Carson's favorite thing in the world. You take a look at any one of his gyms, and you'll see cliffhangers everywhere.
Whoa, gets a little crooked there on the steps.
Isn't it crazy that you're less worried about cliffhangers with Karson than you are about some simple balance obstacle right afterwards?
Oh my gosh. Don't scare me like that.
Yeah. Here we go. The UFO scares me a little bit, though, just because it's so precise. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're off a little bit, it's over.
Okay. I mean, he grabbed a little bit in the back, but it was close enough to the center. He was able to save it. I mean, he looks really good right here. I mean, he's at 1 minute and 40 seconds.
He's smooth, baby. 1 minute 45, and it's not a blazing fast pace, but it's his pace.
I love it. I mean, I know you and I differ greatly in the way that we attack courses.
Yes.
But this is my style right here. Calm, cool, collected.
Not me. I like to go nuts.
I love the amount of rest that he's taking here.
and right into it. Smart. One more move. Nicely done. Big pullback.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Is he going to go wing a transfer into it? Okay, there we go.
Okay, lines it up, makes the reach. There we go.
I like how it keeps the swing there. And this is a really big move up. Look at how big that move is.
Wow, huge move up to the top. Now he's got to get to the next.
Come on, can we get our second athlete past this section of obstacles?
Well, he's a little bit behind Anton's pace here.
Yep. He's got about 1 minute and 5 seconds left, but he doesn't look like he's gassed. Like he said, he took his rest, so he's not like breathing heavy. I think he's just trying to maintain his body control right now. And we got the hanging boards.
I mean...
And 50 seconds to do it.
It's plenty of time to get through this.
We've said it already.
Start going now.
His grip strength is so good, he might be able to fly right through these, but we have 35 seconds left.
And these may be a little thicker than what he's maybe used to. These look like...
Yes, look
thick.
at that. Wow, just floating right on through.
Oh my gosh! He looked so solid.
No, what happened? What just happened? Dude, he was just like pop, 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 moving right through him, and then his backhand must have just slipped right off or something. I don't know.
He was looking so strong through each board. I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is going to be our first finisher of the day. He's got it. I wasn't even worried. No, Karson Voiles goes out a little earlier than we expected. Honestly, I figured he was going to be a course clear from the start. Yeah,
and then everything we saw to that point was like, oh yeah, this is what we expect.
I really like the way that he paced himself throughout the course, and he really set himself up well to finish there, and just a crazy thing happened.
Well, let's take a look at the leaderboard to see where that puts everybody. And sitting on the men's side in first place, Anton Fomenko getting to the hanging boards a little faster than Karson, who unfortunately, because that slip, is now sitting in second place. It's not a good spot. There's some really strong athletes left, but third we have Guy Katz, Chad Flexington, Dominic Torres. If you haven't seen some of these runs, they're available on YouTube and on unxnow.com. Go check them out now. But this is looking like I would expect the doors, the hanging boards, to be the separation obstacle at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. But then looking over at the women's leaderboard, we've got Olivia Colasanto sitting in first place, getting to the 8th obstacle. Looking so good, just couldn't quite figure out the salmon ladder. But then in second, MacArthur, Janique LaVette tied with 4, and just couldn't make the transfer on the ledge.
Yep.
But we'll see. I mean, that ledge might be the difference between major or not.
It's tough. I mean, there's still some really strong athletes on the women's side that have yet to go that I think are capable of getting that up move and getting the transfer and completing that section. But I guess we'll just see.
Yeah.
Yep. And getting right back into it, starting up with our next athlete, Alex Rael, stepping up to the starting line.
Alex jumping right into it.
On and off, pretty smooth. Using that long reach, just reach right on out. Skipping holds. Skipping holds. I love it from Alex. And clearing the third. He's making decent pace right now. 25 seconds in.
Yeah, no, he's looking really good here. And swings up.
That's really efficient.
Looked so casual there for him.
Let's see, is he one kick and go? Yep. I love it. Super efficient. Wow.
Jeez. Beautiful disc out there.
Alex, man.
Alex looking good here.
Smooth. Wow, he's at a minute right now.
It's amazing how scared I am for everyone to do that balance obstacle, but most of, some of this obstacle, I'm like, they got this.
We'll see if you're right. This UFO catch, he's got it.
It's so smooth. I mean, this whole course run, he just looks so smooth.
And decisive. Smooth, decisive, efficient. Like that right there. Didn't take extra swing. Boom.
Now he's at a minute and 30 seconds. Plenty of time to rest here.
Yep, which I would take at this point. You only have 2 athletes getting past this section so far. It does look like he's taking too much of a rest.
He's going to jump right into it. I definitely would have rested a little bit longer there, but I mean, he looks good, so who am I to say?
I don't know. That's a good question. Eyes cleared on the jump bar. Smooth. Everything's smooth. All right. Is he launching to? Is he reaching?
Goes to the reach.
Wow. That was nice.
Well, now it's a big move up here.
Yep. And he's got it. Yes. Wow. And he really didn't even rest that much before starting this section.
He did not rest that much.
Wow.
I was really worried here that he wouldn't have the strength because he just didn't rest, but he proved me wrong.
What? This is awesome. I mean, you know, a relatively unknown competitor coming in and putting in this strong performance already, and he's still going. Let's see what he has on the hanging boards. This is so technique heavy.
We just saw Karson go down here. And this is going to be such a big separator.
And with his time getting here, this actually puts him in first place right now. A little bit ahead of Anton Fomenko.
You can see he didn't quite pinch his feet together at the bottom. Just so I think it was just a, you know, didn't have quite the right technique to attack those, especially because those boards are so thick. You really want to make sure you get the purchase with your feet.
Right, getting the soles of your feet compressed like almost like a butterfly stretch on the boards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But overall, an amazing run there.
Better than anybody else so far.
First place so far for Alex.
Yeah. The next up, we have Brian Rambo, another veteran Sport Ninja. You know, he's out here on the West Coast. You don't see him compete a lot, but when you do, he's a very fast athlete. I like that power.
Nice. Onto the steps here.
No problem.
Moving on to the ledge.
And Brian Rambo, he kind of came onto the scene in the obstacle course racing world a couple of years ago in competition, started smoking veteran athletes. Look at that power right there.
And he's going for the 180 transfer. I love this.
Oh, I love
it. I love it.
And he's off the obstacle already. We talk about efficiency so much and confidence, and we're seeing both here from Brian.
I mean, he is looking really good right now.
Getting that step back jump. A little extra swing, which I think is okay for the UFO because it's really precise. That's nice.
And he's on the dismount, and now stepping up to our hardest string of obstacles here.
Yeah, this is no joke, this section. There's so many moves.
And it all starts with how efficient can you be on this salmon ladder.
And you know, he's not going mixed grip, which personally I'm not a fan of, but that was across and up too.
Oh, and he doesn't quite get in on the all he had to do was get in on those rungs, and he would have been able to move on to the next section.
That's unfortunate. I mean, he was looking so smooth, so fast at that point, but you have to lock in every single move, especially something like the salmon ladder. If you're off a little bit, there's no saving it.
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough. I mean, he looked good. I thought he was going to have the energy to keep moving on, but the salmon ladder is so tricky.
Yep, and like we talked about, that one is so wide too. I think that's throwing athletes off.
Yeah.
But next up, we have Janique LaVette right now, and she's sitting on our leaderboard for her entire season, sitting in a great spot, trying to make her way back to the third major. And we saw her at Ninja Warehouse last time take first place within 2 days of turning 13 years old.
Yeah, definitely one of our youngest athletes in UNX. You know,
That was nice.
That was nice. I mean, she had a great performance at the second major in the semifinals round, and then she went out on the first obstacle in the finals, and you know, extremely disappointing, but she took it really well, and that was one of the things I was most impressed about.
Wow, that was really nice. I mean, a single pullback and just right up. Let's see if she has what it takes. Easy. And just to dismount.
God, she looks so strong here.
Wow. That is amazing. So now her and Olivia, the only two women's athletes to get past the ledge launches. And we're on to balance.
Well, she's a shorter competitor, so these are really far for her.
Mm-hmm, makes it no problem.
She's a little hung up here. Okay, there we go. Gets the kick out, starts some
Build
momentum.
that swing up, yep.
Nice, gets the UFO catch. Come on, Chanel.
Man, like, I mean, once she caught the UFO, in my mind, it's like, for her, somebody like her, no problem. Now, here we go. This is the obstacle that took out Olivia.
And she's got plenty of time to rest here. She's at about 1:40. She jumps right into it. I definitely would have liked to see more rest there.
And just shorts the transfer just a little bit. I think she still had the strength. I know you're saying, I would like to see her rest a little bit more, and me too, because she had so much time left, but I think it literally just came down to she just didn't kick her hips enough, get into that next salmon ladder section as much as she should have.
Yeah, honestly, though, really strong performance from Chanel, and kind of what I expected.
Yeah, I was going to say, what else did you expect, you know? It's Chanel. I mean, she proved it last time, first place at Ninja Warehouse, you know?
Yeah, and one of our youngest competitors, but still coming out here and just looking like such a veteran.
Yeah. It was awesome to watch. Next up, we have another veteran, Derek Pavoni, stepping up to the starting line.
Derek Pavoni.
The cutoff pizza shirt.
Nice pullback there from Derek.
Yeah, that was really smooth.
Skips right up. He's getting a little circular here. All right.
I like it, though, is he's staying straight arm when he can, being smooth. He's not trying to force anything, and he's through the second obstacle pretty easy.
And he's running right through. He's making these transitions really, really quick.
Yeah, I was just going to point out the contrast between Derek and like Karson Voiles, who was not really thinking about transitioning very fast, but Derek is. Nice.
Derek is usually one of the quicker athletes, especially through the transitions. Not somebody I look at as, you know, calm and cool and collected.
Not a slow athlete for sure. But look at that, he's already through the ledge launches, and here we go. This is the stuff where I feel like he's just got to take a deep breath, slow down. You see him kind of slowing it down a little bit for the balance. You got to be so precise with your feet here. Nice.
Nice.
And right into it.
Into the tilt bridges.
Transitions.
That's the thing, though, about some of these, you know, UNX competitions. Like, you have to go fast. I mean, you have to get far into the course, but there's so many strong athletes. You have to move.
You do. If you want to take top three, and there's some strong athletes here, and he set himself up 1 minute and 30 seconds into the course, and he's already onto the gauntlet.
Well, he can't hear me, but I'm going to yell, rest, Derek. Take your rest.
I think he is. You see him, so what he's doing is he's pressing with his knee on his forearms right there to kind of break up the muscle groups and, you know, get more blood flow going. That's really smart. Shaking out a little bit.
I would wait still here. He's only at 1 minute and 55 seconds.
He's already rested for almost 30 seconds, though.
Come on, Derek. Oh, this is definitely not somewhere that I expected him to go out. I've seen him do salmon ladders so often.
Yep.
I mean, we've talked about this over and over again, but at every salmon ladder, every gym is different, and I don't know what happened there, but maybe the width got to him a little bit. I don't know.
I think, you know, it's not as counterweighted, so the bar's a little heavier, and because it's wider, it's also even more heavy. And so I think I saw he hit the front of one of those rungs, and so instead of bouncing him down to the one before, it bounced him out and away from other rungs, and it was just over.
Man, that salmon ladder so far today has been really tricky.
It has. That's a shame because I think Derek was looking really smooth and efficient at that point. Great transitions. I think he did rest enough before that section of obstacles, but it's hard to say. We're not going to find out.
Not going to find out.
But next up, we have Crystal Salah stepping up to the starting line, trying to get one of those top 3 spots. We have 2 women past the ledge launches. So right now, if you clear that, you're in the top 3.
Watch out for that row. Oof. All right. Oh, okay. Little heart attack there, but that's okay.
But she's through.
Like this, kind of using her feet on that truss.
Making her way through the ascending holds.
Big pull up.
Good.
Nice.
I think she can reach that ring at this point.
Yeah, I think she can get to that ring.
Nice. And you see her kicking off the truss at the beginning. Smart. Getting that little extra swing. There we go.
Onto the steps.
Oh, wow. Just keeping her heels off of the blue carpet. And that's a clear.
Really close there.
Yeah, but moving on. And here we go. So right now, she didn't get here fast enough to lock in top 3, so she's going to have to touch the 3rd ledge. She's going to have to go up and then transfer across and touch that ledge if she wants to get in top 3. Come on. It's a big move here.
Just kind of saw it kind of running out of energy there. Didn't have it in the fingertips.
Yeah, I think she took a little bit too long in the second obstacle. She spent a lot of time locked off. I would have liked to see her get through that one a little bit quicker, which would have left her more energy for those ledge launches.
Yeah, but moving on, we've got
Aya Schechter stepping up right now. Start right on into that first obstacle, stopping on the green pad.
There we go. And
it's okay.
One more, come on.
Come on, push off that pad. Oh no, hands are slipping.
She's turned around here.
Man, that's so tough. I feel like the first time she was over that blue pad, she would have just committed, she would have been fine. But it's that second guessing that she's like, let me take another swing. Got turned around, and then it was just over.
Yeah, I mean, just getting her feet on the dismount platform and then spinning her. So now the platform's behind her. She's got to try to work her hips to get around. Yeah.
That's tough. And next up, we have Brian Burke, who just came onto the ninja scene in the last year and put a great performance up.
The Burkinator.
Yeah, the Burkinator. And you see him right there. He grabbed a little too high and immediately slid down further. Great move in like that split second.
Skipping a couple holds here. Ooh.
Banging around a little bit.
There, goes up for that ring. All right. Come on, Brian.
Spent a little more time in the second obstacle than I would expect out of Brian.
Moving on, though. Coming up onto the ledge.
And I like this. I like that he's taking a breath before this obstacle. This obstacle's not an easy one.
I like that. Leaning out, kind of saving your fingertips until you need to.
Looking strong.
Now he's got to make the transfer here. Come on, gets his hips. Nice transfer
Nicely
there.
done.
And it doesn't look like he's gonna move.
Nice.
I really like that. Just making the dismount, not taking any extra moves.
Well, that ledge is bigger than all the others, so you do have more purchase to be able to figure out what you're doing there. And it's less moves.
I like this, kind of collecting yourself before the tilt bridges.
Especially because the transition to UFO is so precise. If you rush it.
Yes, Brian.
That's about as smooth as you're going to see on that. One swing to get to the UFO, one swing to get to the last bridge, and then pretty much right off of it.
Oh, he's got time to rest here.
I mean, not too much time. He's almost at 2 minutes. He's only got 2 minutes left to finish the rest of the course. After this section, you're definitely going to want to rest before the hanging boards.
I think as long as you go by about 210 here, I think you're in good shape.
Well, he's at 210 right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to pick it up here.
Creeping up on a 220 now.
Here we go.
And he's going forward grip on that bar.
And he locks in the transfer. He's got to go up 3 rungs. Nice.
I like that aggressive pace getting up there. Took a long rest, but as soon as he started the obstacle, it was aggressive.
Yep. I like this. Kind of monkey barring his way through. Got to kick your hips a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Now you can reach. Nice, Brian. Come on, match.
There we go. Yes, okay. Now that's a really, really big move. We've only seen a couple of athletes get to this point.
You've got to get your hips up so high to make this catch.
Yes,
Locks
okay.
it in.
Come on, come on. It's a lot of swing. It just tapped it, but that's the tough part on the flywheel. Like we talked about, the holes are so small. The bigger the swing, the harder it is to hold on.
Yeah, it's so little to hold on to, and I mean, it's amazing just getting to that point. I mean, we've seen so many athletes go down before that, but to have the strength just to get there, but then to still have the strength to launch from such a tiny little handhold is really difficult.
That was really difficult. Great run from Brian. And next up, we have a UNX veteran. Is at the first major. Britney Durant is stepping up to starting line, trying to make her way back to the majors.
Yeah, we saw Britney compete at our first major. She qualified through our Traverse Fitness qualifier.
Mm-hmm. Certainly a smart athlete. I like the power we're seeing here. Looks like she's staying pretty calm.
Yeah, I mean, getting through this pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
And looks good through the steps.
Nicely done.
But we'll see what kind of fingertip strength she's got here for these ledges.
I think it all comes down to this first transition. The transition up is so big. If you don't have that finger grip strength, it's going to be really tough. Getting a little bit of sideways motion
and
here.
Pulls up. Oh, she had just reached there.
Yep, come on. You can't spend too much time here. You got to go.
Come on, pull up, pull up, pull up. I think if she had reached off of that first one, she looks like she hesitated just a little bit before reaching that arm up.
You got to go. I mean, because you take a second to go back like that, and you're just burning grip. That's all you're doing is just burning.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so little to hold on to there.
That was tough for sure. But now we have Kai Beckstrand up, one of our younger athletes who's competing. And, you know, his dad runs and owns a ninja gym. His dad's actually competing a little bit later, too. So we'll see how this young athlete does. He's flying.
I think that's one of the really cool things about this sport. You know, father, son competing together. Like, it's awesome.
That is pretty awesome. And he is fast transitions, not taking any rest. Wow, that's some power right there.
Nice, he makes the transfer over.
That is about as smooth and fast as we've seen anyone do that obstacle today.
Yeah, he is looking really good so far.
Shake out for a second. Is he just going to go right into it? Yep. Yes, he is.
Just right into the tilt bridges here. I mean, he's only at 50 seconds here.
That's crazy.
This is amazing.
Fast. I like that.
I mean, he's at a minute and 5 seconds. He's moving
a minute and 5
fast right now.
Well, he's certainly giving himself.
Take the rest.
He's giving himself so much time. He can rest as long as he wants, and he's not going to.
He's going right into it.
Oh no! Well, we'll see what happens here. Nice transfer up one. He's got to go up 2 more.
2 more rungs.
1 more. Okay.
He's got it.
Yep. You know, we've seen other athletes able to just reach across. You know, being a younger, a little bit shorter athlete, you might have to do this a little bit differently. Nice. Wow, okay.
Nice move up there.
Come on.
He's got to make one more transfer and then the dismount.
He's not even at 2 minutes yet.
My gosh. I mean, this is the pace that most people were just starting the salmon ladder.
Oh my gosh, we're at 2:05 right now. He has almost 2 minutes left to finish 2 obstacles, the last of which is the curve wall. Is he gonna go no rest? Take a rest. Okay, good.
Oh my gosh, I'm looking at this like I was kind of speechless watching this. Like, oh, is he gonna do it?
And not too much rest here.
I mean,
he's feeling it out. Those boards are so big.
Moving. I mean, right now.
His feet, though, you got to get those feet on.
Ooh, pinch,
wow,
pinch,
come on.
Pinch the feet together.
Come on. Get those feet up. Oh, man, he almost cleared it.
I mean, puts him in first place with a blazing fast time.
Wow, that is unreal. I don't know how touchable that even is.
I mean, just beating the doors like that's insane. I mean, you could see on the doors he didn't have the right strategy. He was kind of pinching his legs together and not his feet, so didn't get the purchase that he needed to.
I know. I wish he would have been able to get his feet up like that, because the moves he was making with his feet below shows how much strength he still had left in the tank. If he had his feet in the right spot, I think that would have been a clear.
Yeah, that's
insane.
A strong performance.
That was insane. And we just watched the young, and now we're gonna watch the old David Campbell, the Godfather.
David Campbell stepping up to the starting line.
It's actually amazing how long he's been able to stay not only relevant but at the top of the game.
It's unbelievable.
He's one of the older competitors. Yeah, it's amazing. I think it comes down to. Not only is he very strong, but it's his strategy. He has been competing for longer than almost anybody in the sport. So, and his strategy is renowned in the community. People look at him and look to him for thoughts on, what are the moves here? What are the rest spots? What's the timing?
And he's just so impressive.
I think we're going to see more of a Karson Voiles run here.
Yeah, I would agree. Just calm, a methodical
old
approach.
School. Look at that old school transfer right there.
He doesn't need to turn around.
No, but yeah, that methodical, keep your pace, take your rest approach. He's going for completion. He's not going to set, land speed records here. He's going to complete the course. Nobody's been able to do it so far.
Yeah, he's at a minute here. I like taking the rest, collect yourself before this catch. We've had UFOs in other UNX competitions that have proven to be complete ninja killers, and this one so far today, the athletes are finding a lot of success here.
They are, and I think it speaks to the level of athlete competing at this competition. UFOs are not easy, but at this point in the game, you know that there are going to be UFOs in some courses. People are training them. As they should.
Minute and 40 here for Campbell.
Okay. And I think, like we talked about a little bit earlier, a minute 40 doesn't give you too much time to rest. He's at 150 now, and you had said 210 was the time that you think is kind of...
I think that's the cutoff. That's the absolute latest you'd want to start this obstacle.
To give yourself a little time to rest before those hanging boards.
Right. Somebody like David, though, I don't know, if he gets to the doors, I think he's going to have no problem. He's been doing this for so long, I guarantee he's done hanging boards a lot.
You know what? You just changed my mind, honestly, because I think you're exactly right. I think he's going to be able to stroll through those if he gets there.
But I think this is the difference. Somebody like David, an older competitor, not one of our teenage competitors, just doesn't have as much time to train as some of our younger athletes.
I like that, though. Going up 2 on the first side before the transfer. Now he's just got to go up 1 rung. Oh, he's got to go up 1 rung, yep.
I like that he goes back there. Get up 1 more.
He's good.
He's got it. A mental error there, so rare that you see from David, and the amount of time that cost him is going to be a huge difference maker.
Yep, and the energy too, especially on the first portion of this gauntlet. You don't want to spend any extra energy there.
Come on, David. And he makes the reach.
Just pops off. I mean, I hate to say it, but I kind of saw it coming a little bit. He's taking a lot of swings on the wing nut, and then also on the 7-letter bar, having to go back, readjust, make that last move. It adds up, you know?
I think the biggest difference is that when he reached out and had to go back, when you come back to the 7-letter bar, now your hips are swinging in a way that you don't want them to be swinging on the 7-letter. So you got to hang there for a second, wait until you're straight so that you can pop up, and that way you don't pop too far back.
It just keeps adding up, you know?
Yeah.
But next up, we have Adam Rael. And you always expect amazing things out of Adam when he's on a course, and I think today's no different.
Well, Adam's going to be flying, trying to get to this third major.
It's so interesting because on courses, look at how aggressive, and he's a brute on courses, but he's so mild-mannered in person. He's such a nice guy, just a nice person. It's like you look at those two things, and there's such a contrast there.
Skips the second step there. Incredible power.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at this guy. I'm not going to call him a brute, that's for sure.
And here we go. Yeah, no problem there. Immediately kicking while he's turning, and that's the difference with somebody like Adam. Every move is calculated, and every move is meaningful. And sometimes he's doing multiple moves at the same time.
Gets through the balance, and now he's onto the tilt bridges at about a minute.
Taking a quick breath. A little bit of chalk, you know, why not? You're there. Make use of that rest. You know, I'm glad that we're seeing this from Adam, is because in my mind, that's just proof that he's going for completion.
Yeah, he's not trying to race to the hanging boards, I think. Right. And I think for Adam, he's done hanging boards before.
Yeah.
It's an obstacle he's probably a little bit more confident on.
Well, somebody like Adam has been thinking about, you know, Stage 3 on American Ninja Warrior for years, so he's been training that obstacle, I'm sure, all the time. You have to be prepared for things like that. And especially here, it's one of the last obstacles. He's ready.
Yeah, and it's definitely not an obstacle you see at a lot of gyms. It's extremely difficult.
It is extremely difficult. Not a lot of ways to make that one easier. He's at 2 minutes right now.
I'm still looking at 2:10 as that sort of cutoff time.
Well, we'll see. He's looking at his watch.
He's at
2:09, 2:10. Uh-oh. According to DeGangi.
He's done.
No.
No, I mean, somebody like Adam, and I think it just depends on how confident you are in the hanging boards. Mm-hmm. If you're confident in the hanging boards that you can fly through them, I think 2:30 is probably the cutoff.
I don't like this at all. If I'm honest with you, he's pushing 2:30 right now. I wish he went a little earlier. Wow. Across the 3. Well, that saves some time there. Nice.
I mean, that saved a lot of time.
Yes. Yes, it did.
He's got his hands.
This is a big move up, but somebody with a gymnastics background like Adam, this shouldn't be. Like, look at his swing is just perfect.
Just hitting the 3-minute mark here. He's got a minute left to finish the course.
Here we go.
Got to make this dismount here.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
one-handed.
Okay. Flare. Okay, yeah. He's not feeling it, but he's got 45 seconds left.
Just a little talking to Chad real quick.
Guys.
Hey, Flexington, how you doing?
Hey, should I go ahead and be this? What's he lining up? Okay. It looks like he's lining up. I actually, during his run, had to tell him not allowed. He was looking to jump from the starting platform, skip the boards, and go to the landing platform, but you have to do the boards. 20 seconds left.
I mean, if that was his strategy, he's got to fly through these doors now. And
he's moving pretty fast. Come on. 10 seconds left.
Come on. Gets through the board.
Go. 5 seconds. Let's go, Adam.
Get up the wall.
All the way up.
Wow.
Time.
hits the buzzer with about a second to spare.
Less than a second left. That was amazing.
I mean, in his mind, if he's thinking, hey, I'm going to skip this, maybe, like, he's thinking, okay, I don't need that much time to do it. But then to be told by the judge, hey, you can't do that. You have to do the boards. He flew through those.
Well, I mean, to his credit, we didn't say in the rules that you couldn't do that. But when I saw him lining up, I made the call right then and there, which I hated having to make, but I didn't want other people criticizing him or criticizing UNX for allowing an entire obstacle skip, especially something that's been taking out some really strong athletes. That's the differentiator at this point, is those doors.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge, and the fact that, he still comes back, beats it, finishes the course, first place right now.
I will say I was very happy that he completed it, because if he wouldn't have, and I had told him he couldn't do that move, I would have felt terrible. But, hey, first clear. He's sitting in first place. That is a great spot to be in. Adam Rael maybe making his way to his first major.
Yeah, we'll see. But, there's still a couple of athletes left. Mm-hmm. And up next, we've got Katelyn Lee.
Mm-hmm. And Katelyn, one of the owners of Traverse Fitness, gym that we were just at, making her way through the first obstacle pretty smooth. And she's getting told she's got to start on the blue patch. She's got to take a step back.
Ooh,
yep.
There we go.
She's still good. Traverse Fitness is a great gym, so as an owner, she's getting trained whenever she wants.
And that's up in the...
Yep, and unfortunately, rules for UNX, if a landing pad is the starting pad for another obstacle, like it is for that second and third obstacle transition there, going off that pad is falling on the next obstacle.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tricky. It's hard to decide if she had made that dismount out of control and then she stepped off, then it would have been, so you gotta draw a line, and unfortunately for Katelyn there,
yep.
Got to call it.
Yep, that's right. That is tough. But next up, we have Brian Beckstrand, the father of Kai, who we just saw crush it. Kai is sitting in second place right now. Could we see our first father-son duo going to a major? That would be awesome. And Brian's been competing for years, owns his own gym, and I like that, using his reach and power, skipping holds.
Well, what are you thinking here? What's your strategy after just watching your son?
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like as a father, you never want to let your kids beat you in anything. But this is going to be hard to beat.
Yeah. I mean, that pace that Kai set is unbelievable. It's crazy, especially from, Kai isn't, one of the competitors that he's a well-known name, but I think after this, he might be.
Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible pace.
Nice transfer.
Brian definitely taking a more methodical approach here.
Mm-hmm. Older and wiser, right? But I think especially now, after just seeing Adam Rael complete, now I think competitors are probably thinking, there might be one or two more finishers. And if that's the case, speed doesn't matter to those hanging boards. It's about completing the obstacles.
I mean, we've still got, makes a nice catch there in the UFO. We've still got Darren Perez, still got Jesse Lucero, some very well-known competitors. And so, yeah, I mean, I think at this point, you got to be thinking completion.
Right. It's about 1:35. It's a great pace to this point.
You got time to rest. Take it.
I mean, especially when we look at Adam Rael, he started the salmon ladder 2 minutes and 30 seconds and was still able to finish. Granted, less than a second left, but that's great news. He's starting at 150. Nice.
Nice. Two more. One more move up. Nice. Here we go. Come on. You want to be efficient here.
I like that pullback, and he's got the reach.
Yup. Oh, I really like this. Come on.
Do it. Yes, whoa. Connecting it.
The first person to connect this that I've seen. Really smooth there. Big move up.
Nicely done. Okay, almost. Come on. He's on a great pace.
If he can catch this, he's has
regripping.
So much time.
Oh, no.
He it was about a minute at 2:30 when at that point, if he could have finished that obstacle, he would have been set up so well.
I know. It would have been a great spot to be in, looking into the hanging boards. But we've seen that on that part of that obstacle, that flywheel, like we talked about so many times. It's so thin for your fingers, so you have to build up a swing, and the more swing you build up, the harder it becomes to hold on. It's just tough.
It's so hard to hold on to something small as your body's swinging around, and it's trying to pull you off of it. It's just really difficult. But overall, I mean, a great run. Doesn't beat his son, but at the same time, impressive.
We're not going to see father-son duo at the major.
Not yet. Not this time.
Not this time.
Maybe in the future.
But next up, we have Max Feinberg, another youth athlete, pretty well known around the country. And he's starting right off.
And he looks like his strategy is to just go all out.
That's what I'm going to guess by that one transition we've seen so far. I like that. Going right to the side and off.
I mean, you could see him just kind of running between obstacles, not chalking up. He's going all out.
I love it. I love it. Whoa, crossing over there, huh? An early throw. He's forcing some of these moves, but he's looking comfortable doing it.
He's on a really fast pace here.
I mean, it's still early in his run, but this is Kai Beckstrand pace. Maybe even a little faster.
I mean, we'll see if he takes the rest of the salmon ladder or not.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to get through the tilt bridge first, but.
Right. Looks good.
Nice move
love
there.
it. Look at all that swing he's got.
He's going to dismount here.
Yes. A minute and 1 second.
Well, he's a little bit ahead of Kai's pace here. But we'll see how much rest he decides to take before the salmon ladder. I mean, Kai basically took 5 seconds and was in.
Well, I like what I'm seeing here is him feeling the salmon ladder before he goes onto it. But him getting here in less time means he's got more energy. Nice transfer. Oh, yes. So efficient.
He is looking so solid here. He's moving so fast.
And connects it.
Connects it.
So smooth.
I love it.
Look at how much power he's already built up.
Well, this is an incredible run so far. Gotta make this catch in the dismount, but he is still under 2 minutes. This is unbelievable.
He finished that section in 1 minute and 50 seconds. He still has more than half of his time left to finish 2 obstacles.
This is unbelievable. He's not
Rest. What do you know?
Come on, Max.
He's trying to figure out how to get onto the boards. And like we said, these are really tough. Got to get those feet on.
Can't quite make it, but I mean, so blazing fast to that point, faster than Kai's pace.
Yeah.
And wow.
Yeah, wow is right. But I would have liked to see him, because like, what's there to lose at that point? Take more rest for those doors. I mean, they're so thick. I would have liked to see him rest he could have rested for 1 minute before attempting those.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is something that comes down to experience. I mean, we've seen our younger competitors struggle with this obstacle, but this is a staple obstacle that we've seen on Sasuke and American Ninja Warrior that's in past years. And so you see the veterans attacking it, putting their feet together, and they've got the technique for it, but the younger competitors don't quite have it.
Well, we saw that our first major, we had a version of, our flying doors, and we saw the people that were more versed in the technique of getting your feet, using your feet, they just, cruise right through.
Yeah, but, up next, we've got Alex Weber stepping up to the starting line.
Alex Weber, what an awesome dude. Started off just a fan of Ninja and then started training with everyone, and now he's competing.
Well, Alex is all about failure and coming back from failure. If you've never seen him speak, he's incredible.
Yeah, he does TED Talks, all kinds of different gigs where he's talking to people about, improving yourself. Seen him giving people free compliments and free hugs on the sidewalk. Yeah, Alex is a great dude, and he's moving through this course pretty smooth right now. Nicely done. And here we go on to ledge launch. 3 sections here, an up, a cross, and a dismount. Shaking out a little bit before he starts. It's a big move up.
Got to get your hand closer. See, his hands are a little far. And I think that was just, it was a lot of a technique thing where he had his hands pretty wide. And when you want to make a move up like that, you want to get your other hand in closer so that you can make the pull.
Right when you make the move. He was also really high up, which, like we talked about earlier, you want to be a little bit further down so you can generate that motion going up. And he was just so high. Here to here doesn't give you a lot of space to get that momentum.
Yeah, but honestly, Alex, such an awesome person. Definitely check out some of his motivational speaking. He's great.
Right up, we have Darren Perez. Right now, he was at our first major and looking to get back to the majors. Guam's Ninja.
Well, Darren, this is an interesting athlete because he's been to majors before and he has a shot at the championship, but he's got to get to this third major.
I like that, using that trust to push off and get to the ring. But you're right. It all literally comes down to this. He has to get back to that major if he wants to make the championship, which he can. But at this point, I mean, at the pace he's going right now, he's looking at completion. I don't think there's any chance with just the rest he's taken that he beats Max and Kai to those hanging boards. He has to get past that obstacle.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to come down to completing this course.
Nice. Backwards transfer and not even going to that backside for the dismount.
Let's make his way through the steps here. Onto the tilt bridge. Darren was at our first open qualifier in Naperville where one of the Ninja Killers was a UFO catch.
That's right.
And made it look easy, so I think he's got this skill set.
I think this one's a little easier. We'll see. Good.
Nice.
Nicely done. There we go. Okay.
And he's off with about 1:30.
It's a good time.
It's a good time. He's on a pretty average pace here. We'll see how much rest he takes. But, as like we talked about, Darren's sitting in 18th place on the season. He's got 35 points. But if he can punch his ticket to the third major and put together a good performance, that could get him into the championship.
I like that amount of swing. Across up two. Nicely done. One more wrong. He's got it. For him, I like what I'm seeing so far. It's looking great. But then also you think about the experiences. He's competed at a lot of UNX events, majors like you said, and I think that experience comes into play big time. Nice. You got to put together right now. The rest of this run is so important.
Yeah, and something we've talked about before is that a lot of these open qualifiers, finishing gets you into the major.
That's what it's looking like right now. I mean, who knows what the rest of the runners are going to do, but Adam Rail's still the only finisher. Nicely done. 2:45. 1:15 left. That's a pretty good amount of time. Shake out, breathe.
I mean, Darren's competed in different courses in different countries, and I would guess that he's done hanging boards like this before.
So. I would bet you're right. And look at that. He's getting a little bit of moisture on the bottom of his shoes. That's so smart.
Veteran move right there.
Yeah.
And he's at 3:12 right now. Plenty of time to get through this and finish the course.
45 seconds. Yeah. He's about to get started.
If you're hanging on these boards for 45 seconds, you're in trouble.
That's a really good point. He's trying to figure out the best way to get on.
And look at his feet. Take a look at his hips and his feet. Pinching it like a butterfly stretch. That's what you want.
So smart. 25 seconds left, and he's looking really smooth. A lot of weight on his feet, which is exactly what you want. Now we got the dismount.
Reaching back, he's got to pull back.
The tough part, these doors don't swing very much.
Oh, he's got the streak.
Come on.
And now he's got to get the wall. He's at 5:55. Oh, he's got it.
He's got it.
Punches at 3:58.
Wow.
And that puts him past Adam Rael.
Taking first place. That's pretty scary at the end there for that dismount off the hanging boards.
I mean, yeah, I was really worried about the dismount. But at the same time, put it together, beats Adam Rael by a second. And, I mean, I got to think at this point, that's going to be good enough to get to the major.
Only a handful of runners left, one of which is Jesse Lucero, who's going to be running up next. But, I mean, now we have 2 finishers, and I feel like strategy changes. I feel like you have to go for a finish at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you get, I mean, even with Darren's run, the first place run right now, we saw how hard it is just to even get through the boards and dismount. Like, I think you spend your time and you focus on the hanging boards, get through that, and you're set up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, Jesse the Jet is up right now. Jesse Lucero is going to be running the course, and he's known for speed, a speed demon. So we'll see what he puts together. We'll see what his strategy is.
Well, I think quick transitions here.
I think that answers it right there.
Do you think he slows down at any point, or is he just going to go for it?
I think he's going to go for it. I mean, I've seen time and time again from Jesse is he is a fast athlete, and he really doesn't slow down. Maybe that's just the speed that he's comfortable going. Which, you know, if he does get to the hanging boards, it gives him more time to rest. But I just worry about, you know, going this speed and little mistakes, you know?
I mean, he's going fast right now, and he's looking good. He's not making any tiny, you know, mistakes. That's always the thing that worries me was about when you go so fast that you get a bad swing or you mess something up. But he's looking pretty solid right now.
Yeah, that is about as fast as you're going to see anybody get through that obstacle. That might have been the cleanest we've seen.
I mean, yeah, he's at a minute here.
A minute.
He's got time to rest. Good, I like that. He's feeling the bar.
So, you know, Max Feinberg sitting in 3rd place, the fastest to those hanging boards.
Jesse's jumping right into it here.
Jesse's pretty much on his pace. Okay, cleared. Getting that backswing and launch right to it. I love it.
It's a little crooked, but corrects it very quickly. This is extremely, and just the power that he's got to start that swing there.
Nice. That's great. He's looking good.
Just got to make this catch.
Yes.
Nice. And he's just got to get off of this. A minute and 55 seconds here.
Wow. And I think that puts him a little bit behind Max's time. So I think that means he has to finish this obstacle.
Well, he has got a lot of time here. So much time to rest.
Do you have a paper towel in his pocket?
Veteran move.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
I love it. I mean, he's got so much time. He's a minute and a half left. He can rest as much as he wants. Just finish the course. And really, you finish the course with more than like 3 seconds left, and that puts you in 1st place.
And I like the amount of time that he's taking here. I mean, we saw Adam Rael do it with not that much time left. Darren was over 3 minutes when he started. Mm-hmm. And now Jesse's going to jump into it. He's at about 2:55 here. Oh, tried to get his feet out to the 2nd board right away.
That's tough to see right away. I mean, the thing is, those hanging boards are a little different because they don't freely swing. So when you jump out like that, that board doesn't come with you. It stays where it was. I think that's what happened is it stayed there, and so his hand just popped off because it's so wide also.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at those boards and I'm not seeing them in person, but they definitely look thicker than hanging boards that I've seen before.
Mm-hmm. Well, next up we have our last runner of the day. Alex Nye is stepping up to the starting line. And he's off. It's, you know, being the last runner is, I think it's tough in some ways. I think I always feel more pressure when I run later, but he also knows exactly what he has to do.
Yeah, I mean, if it's my choice, I'm definitely going to choose to go last.
I'm going to go ahead and agree with you there.
Pressure or not, but no, I agree. There's definitely a lot of pressure.
And here we go on to the ledge launch.
He's going to make a big move up. Yep. Looks good here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Swan, you're the last runner here. You're in Alex's shoes.
Mm-hmm. He's wearing Zante's, so I'm pretty happy with the shoes I got on. Oh, nice. It's a good save. What's my strategy? I think just like we're seeing from Alex is I'm not looking to rush it. I'm not looking to try to beat Max's time to the hanging boards. I'm thinking completion. I think go smooth and don't get overworked or anything like that. And so when I get to the hanging boards, I feel good.
And he's into the tilt bridges. And I like this a lot. It's just, he's not rushing anything. He's taking his time. Nice catch on the UFO there.
Nicely done. Yeah, one thing that I like to think about is always running your course. And what I mean by that is not trying to get sucked into what everybody else is doing. And in this case, running last, like you could easily think, if I just beat Max's time to those hanging boards and go super fast, I lock in my top 3 spot. But would you go that fast if somebody told you, hey, here's your course, run it? And I think that's what I think about when I'm running courses like this and I run late, is to think I'm going to run my course in the best of my ability to beat this entire course, especially when there are only 2 finishers so far.
Yeah, and I mean, the strategies are interesting because, for Alex taking the rest here, which I really like, I'm a big fan of this, you kind of distribute your energy throughout the course versus like somebody like Jesse went super fast to the boards and then had a ton of time to rest.
Yeah. And honestly, I think Jesse could have beat it, but I think he just made just a small, tactical error. Well, maybe not small, but I like what we're seeing. He's looking smooth. He's at 2:35 right now, so he's actually ahead of where Adam Rael was at the same spot.
I mean, but the big question here is, do you have the fingertip strength to hold on to these flywheels?
Well, he's got the swing for sure.
I mean, he's looking good here.
Nice, he is.
Nice catch in the middle. Come on, Alex.
It's a lot of swings.
He's locked off. And you could see his elbows were bent. He was locked off. He was holding up high. It's a lot harder when you're straight arm because you don't have other muscles helping you engage that hold. But at the same time, straight arm gives you more of a swing to get to the flying scarf.
Yep. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's tough, but that was a great run from Alex, especially running that late and trying to take in all the information, everything. That was a great run and just a little short of I think where he wanted to go, but that is it for our competition. Let's take a look at the leaderboard to see where everyone landed. And looking at the men's side first, we have Darren Perez and Adam Rael, our only 2 finishers, split up by 2 seconds.
Incredible.
Yeah, and Adam Rael was within a second of not finishing.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
And honestly, Adam Rael's run was so impressive just because at the very last second had to change his strategy and then still beat the hanging boards.
Yep, and then we have Max Feinberg taking that 3rd qualifying spot, getting the hanging boards faster than anybody else with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. That's insane.
But then unfortunately, Jesse Lucero and Kai Beckstrand rounding out our top 5 didn't quite make it. Jesse's so close, 5 seconds behind Max.
And that's so tough because Jesse and Kai's runs are so impressive. I wish we could send more people, but that's what we're doing. You have to perform. You have to be top 3 to go to the major. And so we have Darren, Adam, and Max that are going to be going. And on the women's side, we have Chanel and Olivia taking the top 2 spots. I don't think that's that big of a surprise.
Not a big surprise. I mean, Chanel just being so young and taking first place in this competition just speaks to how impressive an athlete she is. And then Olivia taking second place.
Also super young.
The consistency from Olivia. I love it. But consistent Colasanto.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we didn't see Chanel compete in the first round because she wasn't old enough, which actually makes me wonder, like, how is that going to affect her, in the 3rd major if she does well enough, but not well enough to be top 8. So I'm really excited that these 2 are going to be going back and potentially have a shot to make the championship.
I mean, Olivia, sitting in 5th place on the season, has an incredible opportunity now to make the championship.
Yes,
it's looking
she does.
very good. And Chanel, Chanel's going to have to put the work in at the major major, but I think, like you said, she was too young for the first major, but the experience that she's gaining right now is going to be invaluable moving forward.
Yeah, big time. And so taking that third qualifying spot, Anna MacArthur getting that point for that up move on the ledge launch and getting it a little faster than Janique, who unfortunately is one spot out from qualifying, followed by Britney Durant.
Britney Durant, who made it to our first major, doesn't make it back in this qualifier. But overall, I loved this course. I thought it was really well set up at Movement Lab. And the hanging boards.
Hanging boards.
Brutal.
That was so exciting. But we're going to be packing all of this information. We'll be having fast forward the rest of this week. But next stop for our second qualifier for the third major, we're going to be going to Ultimate Ninjas in St. Louis. Jamie Ron is putting together a course, which means there's going to be some crushed souls out there.
If you've ever competed on a Jamie Ron course, you know what to expect. And if you haven't, buckle up.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, he's only had one finisher on any of his courses in the last 5 years, and it was Donovan Matoyer. And Donovan's at the top of our leaderboard, so that should tell you how difficult Jamie Ron courses are.
Yeah, but we'll unpack all that. We'll be back for the UNX Championship Series. Make sure you guys check us out on YouTube and on unxnow.com. I'm Chris DeGangi.
I'm Ethan Swanson. We will see you guys next time.